Generic greetings and welcome back to Crisis Architect. In the previous episode, we definitely 3-2-1 activated generic crisis mode because two prisoners, normal risk prisoners, turned up with babies in tow, and that meant that we didn't have any family cells or nurseries to put them in, so we had to quickly scramble to get that resolved. Now, I'm happy to say that the family cells are there and working, however, the nursery does still have issues. As you can see, it says there are no prisoners assigned to eat at this canteen, and after messing around and reading different things and basically trying to fix it for about an hour, I can tell you that we're not going to get this working here. Even though you can see this has been set for the supply and distribution of food. You can see these family cells are directly connected to that nursery via the logistical network. This is the food distribution, and you see that does say supply +6, and the kitchen staff will take that food and deliver it there. This nursery will never get used because nurseries have to be adjacent directly to family cells, so that the family cells, basically the people in the family cells never leave that unless they absolutely have to. And I didn't know this when it first came out in 1.2, I believe, but I thought that had changed, and I was convinced that it didn't need to be direct, but apparently it does. So basically what that means is, the long and short of it is, we need to redesign this entire cell block, and that's going to be a massive, massive problem. Now over here, I did plan on having something pretty much identical, but the family cells in the centre, and then a fairly big bit up here, which is going to be the nursery. Actually, no, the nursery was going to go here, something like that, and then the family cells would come off that side, and that would be okay. The problem with that is that we can't do it here because it'll block all these paths and such, and it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. And also, it's taking up a lot of room around here, which we just don't have. And because we can't have the family cells on the right, because they'll have to exit that way and come around, so we can't have that. So as I said, basically, we need to redesign a lot of this, and that means very quickly moving these prisoners over to the other side and repositioning the family cells. So obviously, and the nursery as well. So let's crack on with that in this episode, and hopefully nobody will die in the process. So let's go and quickly have a look at what we can do. So I'm going to try and design it so that the family cells are up the top here. And yes, I know before it's even discussed, the family cells being up here are just a terrible idea, because they are very far away from the canteen. Remember, the canteen has to feed the nursery, so having it up here is just completely suboptimal, but I don't really have much choice. I have tried to place it elsewhere, but it's just not working out. I was thinking of doing maybe that, but then the nursery is really small, and I think that is about okay size for a nursery. So we have a nursery in the centre, then as you can see we have these cells in here, so that's how they'll be designed, and then they'll go on this side as well, and there we are. So we've got a total of 4x4, so we've got a total of 12 family cells plus a nursery, which I think is about right. Obviously it's going to cut over these, which is a problem, so we're going to have to see if we can resolve that. Now these shouldn't be altered, and what we're going to do is we're going to have these cells probably come out a little bit actually, because we might as well make, because we've got rid of the back bit here, which was originally, the back bit was originally our graded cells. I think we're going to go ahead and see if we can keep some sort of grading in here, so we make these cells a little bit larger. But let's see, so the ones on the left and right will be the same size, like so. And let's just copy it over from that one there. It's actually going to be easy to design up here. And actually, no, that's wrong. That should go up to there. Like I said, the ones on the far left and the far right are going to be the same size as these ones. Actually, no, that's wrong there. There, and there. And then the ones next to them are going to have some grading, so slightly different size. I know it's very difficult to see there, but the overall sizes we have a 3x5, a 3x5, a 3x5, and then it goes down to a 2x5, and then a 2x5. So those are all graded quite nicely. Same on the other side. So we've got the graded ones in the centre, and then the standard ones on the left and the right there. That means that the prisoners around here shouldn't ever have a reason to go up here and towards the nursery, which is good. We could, if we want to, have like a double sort of airlocky type thing there, but I don't think it's strictly necessary. So that is the rough plan. The first thing we need to do really is get, I think probably those cells and those cells moved. So we need to build 4 more cells, get them shifted over, get 2 family cells built in a nursery, and it shouldn't take too long to do that, but let's just see how we get on. So what we can do is close that planning there, go over to cloning, which is in quick build, or go to clone there, and what we want to do is we want a quick build 4 cells like so. Is that right? I think that's correct. And there we go. There's those cells. And once those are built, like I say, we'll delete these ones and move them over there. In terms of the family cells, we'll also start building these. So that wall goes across there, that one will go across there. And then we'll do the top and the bottom as one, and then we can obviously design it. So a little jail door there and there. Obviously there's going to be ones on the other side as well, but let's just focus on this. We want a shower. We want a toilet. Actually, I'm going to do it another way. I'm going to get rid of those, and instead I'm going to put the brick walls there. The reason for that is it means that we can have the toilet and the shower further away from the walls. Not that I expect the family, anyone in the family cell to try and escape, but we have to plan for such eventualities. So let's go for that with a drain, and then there's already lights in there. That is acceptable. We need a bed which can just be placed on the top and bottom like so. Obviously we need the crib in there as well, but I think we'll wait. Actually no, we will designate it family cells, and there and there, and then we will crack on. I'm also going to hire 1, 2, 3, 4 more workers just to get this done. This is important that we get it done quite quickly there. You can see a lot of the workers are bringing stuff in and out. I just want to double check as well. Have we got anything that we need locked open or closed? I did check down the bottom earlier, and it's... Oh, that one there, lock open, that one. For the kitchen staff. These ones are all set and fine, and the rest are okay as well. Okay, so we're going to get no intake, obviously. We are going to get these family cells built. Oh, quite fast actually. That's good. And I'm going to go over to cells, and I'm going to remove all of those and remove all of those. In fact, I'll remove that and that as well, because it's just just has no purpose, you see. And there we go, that's removed. The workers are going ahead and doing their best. We'll go to crib, and we'll place the crib in there as well, and that now should be 2 legitimate family cells. We also want to go for a brick wall and build a brick wall across there, all the way across. That'll obviously section that off, and we've got 2 prisoners who are saying that they are, yeah, they say that they're unable to go anywhere. I don't know why they went to the canteen though. That's a bit of a weird one, because they shouldn't be able to go there ever. They shouldn't ever get moved there. But anyway, we will care about that in but a moment, because at the moment we can't. Dismantle utility. We'll dismantle the utilities around there and around... well, actually, all of these ones on the right, because we're going to change that up completely. So let's just get rid of all those utilities just to clear this up. There we go. We also want to demolish walls straight across and dismantle all of these objects. I think this is the biggest overhaul ever undertaken. Actually, why don't I just go to objects and dismantle? There we go, that's much easier. And there we go, those are getting removed. We will put our jail door in there. We will say nursery and designate all that as nursery, which does not need to be surrounded by anything, which is good. Our serving tables, we'll have 2 of them. Actually, we don't really need to, but just for symmetry sake, we'll put them on the left and right there. We'll put a bench in the centre with a table there as well. And then at the back, we will put cribs and such, but only after I've dismantled this one, because it means we're getting the stuff back. So, actually, do we have the time? Yeah, we do. Once they're in there working, these will get dismantled very, very quickly indeed. So it looks like we do have Gail and Stacey in their new cells, which is good, the new family cells. We are focusing on this nursery, which should be done very shortly. There is a lot of food need there, as you can see, which is awful, I know, but we're doing our best here. Let's prioritise the building of that. We'll dismantle that door there, and this is pretty much retrofitted now for the most part. Where are the rest of the workers? The rest of the workers are coming now. We will go over to, say, playmat, and what we're going to do is place some cribs all the way along there, and the playmats will go in front of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. So we need 2 more for this entire thing. Let me just focus that open. And that should be this done. Prioritize that, and that should be that done. And then hopefully everything's now up and working. We will go ahead and we will order the demolishing of the rooms there. We've already cleared that off. Dismantling of the objects, and that should be that back to what it was. And then obviously we need to plumb it all in. We have prioritised the stuff at the top, so hopefully that'll be done quickly. Today's crisis averting beverage is a nice cup of chamomile tea. And what we'll do is we'll run pipe work right across, because that's exactly how that's going to be set up. And for this one we could probably just do the same thing like that. Okay, there we are. So that should be a crib coming in. So once the crib's placed and the playmat's placed, that'll be a legitimate room. You can see that the chef there did come along and place some serving tables, some food trays on these serving tables. Aha! There we go. They're now using that. This is good. So we need to go over to deployment and to MedSec, and we need to change all of this to MedSec. We will, however, change... actually, we don't need to change the nursery and things to access only. There's no reason why we need to do that. So yeah, that says the kitchens... There are no kitchens sending food to this area. Well, that's not strictly true. If we go over to logistics and food distribution, we can remove that and then manually select these two, and now that should work. Demand 2, supply, and there we go. It is now a legitimate area. And breathe. Okay, so those are now in, and there's some nice bacon there being placed and some peas, and as soon as it gets to eat time, hopefully the rest of these the rest of this will be okay. So let's go to brick wall, and we'll place all of these brick walls in here. Like I said, this is nowhere near ideal, but I've just done the best I can with the sort of resources available. Obviously, if I knew that this was going to happen, then I would have certainly planned it out differently. The intention was there to do it right. It just was a bit of a failure. There you go. You can see they're finally... Look at that. They're all frantically building around while scoffing some beans and such. And apparently the best place to store bricks is in a crib. I mean, I know it's comfortable, but I don't think the brick really has a preference, so, you know, whatever. So we'll focus that up, and what we also need to do is sort our deployment out, because as you can see, we've now got loads of deployment issues. So we'll cancel all of that off, and what we will do is probably go ahead and set some deployment across there, some probably walk around there, and then walking around there. So we have 3 patrols like that. That should be fine. Do we go to the end there as well? That actually would make a bit of sense, wouldn't it? Go to there. And then go to... where is the middle? That is the middle. Like that. So we'll have a guard, a guard, a guard, and then dogs. There we are. Okay. Sort of ish back to normal with patrol routes and everything else. We do want a station in terms of our staff. Actually, we'll get 1, 2 more guards there. We want to have some guards assigned to that nursery. Not patrolling it, just assigned to it. So this door can be open and closed, and obviously it is protected as well. So there we go. So looks like their needs are hopefully being fulfilled. Family cells are not graded, if I remember correctly, although I have to check all the time because you never know. Yeah, family cells are not graded. They don't have a grade at all. So it means we can put everything they want in here. So we can put things like bookshelves in and things like that. So we'll put some bookshelves in. We'll put some... we'll put like a TV in. Right in front of the kid maybe? That's not good. Especially if it's like the Radiation King. We'll also put a radio in there. We'll put a radio there, and then we'll also put in... Basically, we're going to max it out. We're going to completely max it out with all of the grading possible. I'm going to zoom into here just so we can get office desks, so we'll spin that around. Now, technically, they don't need that, I don't think, but... you know, we're going to put it in nonetheless. And then a chair can go in there and then there. Not ideal, but actually, you know what? I've removed that chair. And I will instead put the chair in the corner like so. Okay, so there's 2 cells done. And there we are. Everything's planned off and everything's getting moved. Right, okay. what we need to do now is pretty much reverse exactly what I did over here. So we're going to go over to materials, building brick. We're going to go along like so. We're going to go to objects and to the door, and then we'll place a door in there. And then we need to room that up. So it is a cleaning cupboard. And like so, that is a cleaning cupboard. And also it was a parole, which will go in there. And back over to objects, visitor table, and done. So we now have parole, we now have cleaning cupboard, and we're back to, I was going to say normal, but I don't think we really know what normal is in this place. But anyway, we're back to functioning. Danger level is increasing. 10 prisoners have serious complaints. Let's have a quick look at what these are, because we haven't taken care of these needs. There's a huge food need. 10 prisoners saying they're not meeting that. There's no kitchens capable of sending food to this kitchen. Oh, don't say that. That's been broken. Food distribution. So you need... No, surely I can do it like that. Yes, okay, that's fine. We should be fine now. There we go. So we're going to hire some more of those. 1, 2 more cooks, and there we are. Right, so there is food getting delivered. There we go. That's going down now. That's excellent. Okay, all right, and food's up there as well. Yes, there is. Right, so sort of back to normality now. I will check the deployment. Like so. And that should be it. Apart from that wall there. So. Grants. Took us a while to get here, but we're there in the end. So. Grants. We've got max sec infrastructure, increase the size of our security force, place CCTV monitors and cameras, and that sort of thing there. Okay, we also have foundation education course, so might as well start running some programs. Let's have a quick look. Foundation education program, we will start that. We're not going to do kitchen safety and hygiene. We've got alcoholics group, there's only one in the queue, we'll leave that for now. Sims, pharmacological, and there's also spiritual guidance. So we'll start both of those, and we'll let it crack on. And I think it's just a case now of cloning some more cells. So we'll go over to our quick build, and we want to select all of that. Actually, all of that should be fine. And... oh, damn it. I hate when that happens. There you go. Quick build. And there's a big row of cells. Because remember, these ones here are gonna get removed at some point. And I do stress at some point. It'll probably be one of the last things we do. We're mainly focused on at the moment on getting some more prisoners and making sure we're not off negative cash flow. Because at the moment, well, we are. We could go for that max sec infrastructure because it's only a couple more guards as well as some CCTV, and we do need that. I don't know. I think just getting more prisoners is better. We should be okay. What we'll do as well is we will we'll quick build 2 more family cells, you see. And that'll mean that if we do get more, well, when we get more intake, because we currently have that open for MedSec, it means if we do get more family members, they'll go in there. I really am hoping that this is sufficient. If it's not, then we're going to have a lot of issues, because there's nothing much I can do to retrofit it. The only thing I can do is set these cells here to be nursery and then just block it off that side. But then it's over half the cell block is dedicated to nursery. So what I'd probably end up doing is I'm probably going to have the one on the right hand side have double the size of this and have that so we will move people from one risk to the other if necessary. But other than that, you can see that our Gail is actually one of the mothers here. You can see that this is Charlie Gale, prisoner number 219-25058. 13 years for trafficking. got an ex-husband, son, son, daughter, son, son, and daughter 0. So that's like that's the baby that's got on them with them now. And they're going to go back to their cell. They were actually in visitation, so they do leave the nursery in their cells, but they spend the majority of the time there. So that's going to be a bit of an issue. Now, I think if we wanted to, we can put some phone booths and such in here. It is possible. Let's go ahead and place a couple of phone booths. Shall I place one phone booth? Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to place the phone booths at the end like that. Like that, because then they have access to that. I wonder if I can extend the nursery all the way to the end. I could, but it would probably not work. I want to see if they do actually use those phone booths. It'll be interesting finding out. Looks like all of them have been complete rated, which is good. I'm going to run that pipe work right down there. Now that won't have the distance to get to there. So the one that is about halfway there should be sufficient, I hope. And let's just see if that is the case or not. You can see they're spending all their time in the nursery there. I'm just going to open that up, and this is going to be the phone booths. Phone booth is built, and no, they're not going to use that. So we'll dismantle those, which is a shame. Actually, are they? No, we're going to go at the end. I wonder if we extend the nursery. Let's try it. So do that. No. No, it's all over the place. It doesn't like it. It doesn't like that at all. And in fact, it's glitched it out now, which is not a good thing. Okay. Logistics. Food distribution. There we go. That should be all fine now. Yeah, that's working fine. We could probably get rid of a serving table, couldn't we? Dismantle. We'll get rid of a serving table. And we want phone booths. Like that. 2 of those. Because the nursery is very much like it's a mix between a canteen and a common room. Right. Shakedown. Time to do a shakedown. We haven't done one since we started, so I think we're going to do that now. We don't have enough money to hire more guards, which means I'm probably going to go ahead and I will increase our bank loan by... I didn't really want to get that much, but whatever. It'll do the job quite nicely. There we go. So we've got 8 more prisoners. Just because we're receiving another 9 anyway, so... There we are. Looks like there's enough water going between all of these, so that's all connected up. That's good. In terms of patrols, we do need to assign some more patrol. Let's go to deployment guard patrols, and instead of them coming down there, what I'll do is run all the way to the bottom and then run all the way up the top like that. We'll do the same on the other side, so we'll go all the way down to the bottom and then right back up to the top. The one in the center will take over those duties of going to the end like so. So we need dog patrols, and obviously guards as well. Guard patrols, guards. Isn't that a Terry Pratchett book, Discworld? Pretty sure it is. Anyway, so we are searching. Obviously, if we find tunnels, then we're going to freak out over here. But, yeah. I almost found some booze. Oh, some booze in Stacy's room. There we are. So 1 in solitary confinement, 1 in lockdown, because we have found some scissors and a knife. Knife is, yes, it is a weapon, so I believe they do. Well, they don't like that. So that's Porter. Leela Porter. We'll recruit an informant. Our first one of the series. Right, we're going to leave it there. It's been, eventful. Yeah, looking back on it now, I didn't mind that we had the crisis. It livened things up a little bit. I think the solution we've come up with currently isn't ideal, but it's also far from broken. We also definitely need automatic door openers on this one. For sure. But we'll see how we get on. There we are. There should be a guard in here, but there is not, and that's not good. But you know what I'm going to do? Do that. That's why there's not a guard there. I'm just going to set a guard patrol going along like so. There we are. So yeah, I don't think it's ideal, but I think it's also not totally broken. So I think we've recovered it quite well. Next episode, we will get some more prisoners once again. I probably want to do the full right-hand side here. And we might even put some flooring in. We will see how we go. Oh, and we'll also see just who we've got as our new prisoners. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.